Hey everybody, it's Becky Bamboo. Today is Tuesday, March 18th, 2014. Today I went and saw my surgeon for my 1-week post-op internal hernia repair appointment. Everything went fine with surgery. Everything went fine. This last week has been really rough, I'm not gonna lie. We're talking, major surgery on your abdomen, kicks your ass like nobody's business. The surgeon made it sound like the hernia repair was gonna be no big deal. However, it's still major surgery, so it's definitely taken its toll on my body. Yesterday was kind of the turning point. Yesterday was like the first day that I kind of went, oh, I can get up and move around and not feel completely wiped out, and I can breathe without feeling like I'm gonna die. And finally starting to get a little bit of pep back in my step, so to speak. Today is even better, so I can kind of tell that I'm now to that point where I am getting over the hump of having had major surgery. The life is kind of breathing back into me again, and I feel good about that. It's just taking a little longer than I expected it to. I really thought within a few days I would kind of feel back to my normal self, but that did not happen. Basically, the issues I've had are kind of what I would call minor things. Got a sinus infection going on, so I started antibiotics yesterday for that, which I already feel a lot better today. I feel things opening up. So that, I think, has been a lot of the issues I've had with shortness of breath, and maybe I had a little bronchitis or something with it, and I feel that breaking up now. So, like the dizziness and stuff, I'm really relating that to the sinus stuff. As that's kind of draining out, I'm starting to feel a lot better from that. So, that's totally not surgery related. I had a sinus infection pre-surgery. I was started on antibiotics and a steroid. However, because I was so sick with my gut, I only took a couple days of them because I couldn't keep it down. There was no way. Every time I tried to take a pill, I couldn't swallow it because I was so nauseated, and it was just not good. So, that was, that's a pre-surgery thing. Surgery related. My gut, my belly, the skin on my belly is driving me bonkers. It's normal for your incisions to itch post-surgery, because that's what they do, and it's healing, and the skin's all tightening up and everything. However, they used Dermabond glue on me, which I had with my gastric bypass, and I had no trouble with it. The glue, this time, I've had a reaction to. Basically, they put a massive amount of glue, about this big, around every single incision. And the one in my belly button, actually, my belly button was glued together almost, deep down inside there. It was glued together down inside there. And my skin has gotten bright red and very inflamed, and a rash has developed from the glue. So yesterday, it really was bothering me. I was very itchy. It was just making me lose my mind. So I started, they tell you to let the glue wash itself off, you don't pick at it, which I did until yesterday, and I couldn't take it anymore. I needed to get that shit off of me. So I basically picked all the glue off around everything except for the actual incision line. I left it on the incision line, but on the skin around it, gone. And there is just a huge red rash around every single one of my incisions where the glue was. So the doc looked at that today, and he's like, "Oh, I definitely think you have some kind of little allergy to that glue." And I said, "Yeah, it's just driving me nuts." And I actually made my husband get a pair of tweezers and pick the chunk. It was a chunk of glue out of my belly button. I mean, it was literally caked in there. It was disgusting. So, got that out. It's feeling better now that I got the glue all washed off, but it's just going to be an irritating thing until that rash kind of resolves, and I stop driving myself nuts over it. So, that's a minor thing. These are all little things. I know they kind of add up at the end of the day when you're like feeling crappy. It's like all this little crap kind of does add up. Gut-wise, the reason I had this hernia repair surgery, the reason I went to him in the first place was because I had noticed an increasing issue with my gut. Was having nausea. Anytime I would eat like a bite of anything, I would get extremely nauseated. I would not throw up. I'm not really one to have, like, I'm not a vomiter per se. It takes a lot for me to have an emesis, like where I just throw up. But I definitely was nauseated, and I had almost no appetite. Like, food did not sound good in any capacity, and anything I tried to eat was like a no-go. Even soup was making me very ill. In addition to that, the nausea and stuff, I think, had been a progressive thing. I think I had been noticing more and more nausea. And you know how when you kind of, over time, I think you just get used to like your body changing when it's not like a dramatic all of a sudden thing. And I think it kind of just became my new normal to have nausea. And I was just kind of like going with it, not even really paying attention to it so much. But the 2 weeks prior to my surgery, I had diarrhea every day. I did not have a normal bowel movement for those full 2 weeks. And so, like a week and a half in is when I called the surgeon, and I was like, dude, something's not right here, because I am sick to my stomach all the time. I have constant diarrhea. Something's wrong in my gut, So it's something the reason I say and talk about it is because it's something that people need to be aware of. Having weight loss surgery has risks, and it's not just immediate complication risks. You have complications that can come up years down the road. I will be 4 years post-op come June. So this has been many years down the road that I now all of a sudden developed an internal hernia. The theory is that my pregnancy probably contributed to it, or maybe is even what caused the hernia, and it's just been a progressive, since I had my son, that it's just, the symptoms are getting worse and worse and worse. The surgeon told me today it was a good thing that he operated when he did, that if we had waited much longer, it was going to become a very serious problem. And this is an internal hernia is a life-threatening thing. If you do not correct it, you can die from it. It can pinch off the blood supply to your bowels, and your bowels can die, and if they die, you die. So it's a scary thing. And when I hear him say today, it's a good thing we didn't wait, because it was going to get bad, or it was getting bad. I know I did the right thing. So I just encourage everybody to make sure that you are listening to your body for the rest of your life. It's not just an immediate post-op period and then you're in the clear. It doesn't happen that way. This is a lifetime of maintenance of your body. So, anyway, he fixed the problem. I have no nausea. I've been able to eat just fine. My appetite's back. No diarrhea. My bowel habits have returned to normal. I can't tell you how good it feels to have a normal bowel movement after you've had diarrhea for almost 3 weeks. It's like, oh my God, yeah, this is right. This is how it's supposed to be. And really, from the first day post-op at home, I realized how this has been a problem for a while, and I was just, it was just little things that was building and building and building. So I'm glad that I went in, and I'm glad that I saw him, and I'm glad that I got it taken care of. So I'm going back to work on Monday, which will be 2 weeks post-op. I told him today, I said I have some concerns about going back to work, just because today's the first day that I really feel like I have even just a little bit of energy, and I said, I work 14 to 16 hour days, 3 days a week. I'm definitely concerned about my ability to work a long shift like that. He agreed that going back my first week, that I needed to take it a little bit lighter. Not necessarily that I have any restrictions on what I can do physically, but just that maybe I need to not work such long days and let my body kind of have a chance to readjust to to, being on my feet all day and all that. So my first week back, he's limited my hours to 24 hours in the week. He said, however you want to work it. He said, I know you work 3 days a week. My suggestion would be to just work 3 8-hour shifts and be done. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually on my way to take my little note from him to my boss and talk with her about how we're going to work the schedule next week. Like who's going to cover the remainder of the day for me, or if I'm going to come in later or whatever. So, that's what's kind of going on right now. I'm not looking forward to going back to work. I'm definitely nervous about going back to work. It's just, I think that's the natural reaction you have because you're unsure, and because right now I don't feel well enough to want to be at work, to be frank about it. But I also recognize that it's another 6 days before I go back, so I need to be a little patient with myself and understand that through the rest of the week I should be feeling better and better and better over time. So, I think that he did me a favor by agreeing to having me only work the 3 part-time days this next week, and then go back to my regular shifts the week after. I'm looking forward to kind of getting back into my normal routine again. The one thing that I wanted to talk about is my discharge instructions from the hospital said 3 weeks out of work, 6 weeks no lifting, pushing, pulling, including lifting my son. And I said to him, I have a serious problem with these discharge instructions. And he said, I don't agree with them either. The hospital has to legally cover their ass. He said, basically, you have no restrictions. You can go back to whatever you were doing before. You can lift your son. You can do everything at work. I want you to get back into the gym and back into your workout routine because that's going to re-strengthen your body. So I'm home free. I don't have any restrictions on that end. He does want to see me again in 3 weeks, I think, just to kind of check in, make sure my incisions are looking better, because they definitely they look gross right now. They really do. They're just red and they look gross. So I do follow up with him again on the 8th of April, which, whatever. That's what you got to do, right? You got to just deal with it. So, yeah. What else? I guess that's it. I guess I will update you guys later in the week, let you know how I'm doing, how I'm feeling. I don't anticipate any problem. I'm definitely, each day is a better day than the day before. It's progress. And I'm glad I took care of myself. I'm glad I listened to my body. I'm glad I went and got this resolved, because I'm just over it. I was over it. I was really over it. Yeah, so that's that. Mwah. Love you guys. Miss you guys. See ya.